Hello.
And welcome to
Let the Girls Play. I'm Kelsey Bailey.
I'm Amelia Bain.
And we're here to talk about the WNBA Week 7. Lucky number 7.
Some really good luck for some of the teams. Some really bad luck for some of the teams.
Let's talk about it, because there was the Commissioner's Cup happened. All the teams, some teams only played one game. Some teams played 4 games.
That's just kind of Kathy. That's just kind of what she's doing.
Kathy, you had your beer goggles on for that scheduling one.
Kathy loves, she's got those goggles that they're like glasses that you can drink through and you can see the beer coming all the way around.
And she said, yeah, give the Lynx 4 games. But let's talk about the Dallas Wings first. A big dub.
Big huge dub.
Against the number 2 team in the league, the Wings versus the Mercuries. And let me tell you what, shout out to the rookies. This one was all about the rooks. 4 out of 5 rookies started this game against the Mercury. Louisa, JJ, Paige, Zaza, like we said. And Isaiah James was fucking cooking. 28 points for the rookie. Against the Mercury.
Incredible. Against the Mercury. Satu who?
Satu Whomst. I think it's just great. And I think it just shows like the energy of these rookies and the confidence. They're coming in and they don't give a fuck that they're rookies. They're going to ball out.
Maybe the fact that multiple rookies made the All-Star team. Mm-hmm. All of the rookies are kind of like, okay, we've got rookies on the All-Star team. Why not me?
Why not me?
Why don't I bust out a 28-point performance?
Why can't young people dream?
Why can't young people dream? Flip the DT. Flip it. We're flipping the script.
Yeah. DT's not here anymore, so we don't have to talk about the old people. We have to talk about the young people.
Now we are the old people.
Yeah, we are the old people. I'm the oldest person in the league. Me and Alicia Clark, the oldest people in the league. But it was just so great, and I think it was a huge morale booster. I mean, this was a team that desperately needed to sign somebody, enter Leah Tu King, because they were in danger of not having enough players to legally be allowed to play the game because everyone is injured. Dejanay.
The curse of Dallas continues.
The curse of Dallas continues. Period. So shout out to the Wings. 6-13 after week 7 at time of recording.
Oh my gosh. They've turned this season around. The first games, they were struggling. Then they lose Paige. And now Paige is back. The Rooks are cooking. Mm-hmm. I'm happy with the Wings.
Yeah,
I'm
Tierra
very happy with their
back.
performance.
Like, we got all of the Eurobasket folks back. We've waived the people that need to be waived. We've brought in the people who need to be brought in. And
we've still got Liaru.
We've broken up the couple. But like we said, Leah Tu King has signed with the Wings. Don't buy a house, Leah Tu. Who knows?
Oh, no. No, do not sign a lease. Do not buy a house.
Do not buy a house if you get signed to a hardship contract, end of year hardship contract, whatever the fuck they call them. Do not buy a house. Actually, nobody buy a house right now. The market, not the time to be buying a house. We don't know what's going on. You never know what's going on.
And that is why I am not buying a house.
That's the only reason I cannot buy a house, is because that is a risk and a bet I am not willing to take. And I'll tell you what else I'm not betting on right now. The Las Vegas Aces.
Listen, if we're talking about bad luck, the Aces' bad luck continues. Or is it luck? Is it a curse? What is going on? Something is going on.
The vibes are off in Vegas. They were 1-1 this week. I would say embarrassing loss to the Fever.
What? Like,
nobody
really,
felt good
really
after
shocking.
that one.
No.
I thought Becky Hammon was going to pull
quit
out a gun during the post-game press conference. She was on edge.
The bad vibes are starting at the top right now. The Becky's vibes, cursed. Really bad vibes. I get it, though. That game with the Fever, other than Asia, the highest scorer had 6 points.
Jackie Young had 6 points.
6 points. All-star
Jackie Young, 6 points. I mean, we'll get into that in a little bit, because I think, honestly, I don't think this was the year that Jackie Young should have been on the All-Star list. And I love J.O.
Me too.
Let it be known that I love J.O. But having her in there.
going through something.
J.O.'s going through something. All of Las Vegas is going through something. I don't know if it's because the assistant coaches left. The new mix. Maybe they're not gelling. Maybe they need some younger players. They're losing out to these players that can do fast breaks and just,
is the great conspiracy that Natalie Nakase was secretly the coach. Yeah.
She was
kind of like Dick Cheney, you know?
Yes. Natalie Nakase is Dick Cheney, and that's the thing that nobody's talking about.
Nobody's talking about it.
She was a Cyrano de Bergerac situation.
Yes, kind of. Oh, yeah, definitely.
She was on the side in the shadows shouting what the play should be, and then Becky was getting the glory for it.
She was the Ma'anan Sheila in Wild Wild Country, and Becky was the Bhagwan.
Yes. Y'all remember that?
Y'all, current.
We're talking Cyrano de Bergerac, and we're talking Wild Wild Country. Current.
We're talking the Bush administration.
The Bush administration. Our mindset is 2004.
Finger on the pulse.
Mm-hmm. That's sort of where we stopped with like cultural references. 2004.
When did Everybody Loves Raymond go off the air?
It was 2004, 2005.
Okay. See, anything after that, it's not permeating.
The brain went clean because I said no more. Smooth it out. I've seen enough. I've seen enough is what Becky was saying in that post game
my God.
presser. I watched it and I was like, Jesus Christ. She was the worst offensive night she's ever seen in her years of coaching in Las Vegas. She was pissed that they were shooting layups, and we know if there's one thing Becky Hammon hates, it's the opposing team making a layup.
She hates it when they get a layup.
Woof. Really bad. Great game from Asia, though. I mean,
Asia's going to continue to give us great games, of course. Asia is in her white t-shirt, gray sweatpants, I'm serious about this game era.
I think everybody should be in that
energy.
era, though. Why is she the only one showing up in the white t-shirt? I think
everyone needs
get in
to
the white t-shirt mindset.
They need to meet her where she is, or Asia needs to get out of here.
With that awful loss, they at least got a win over the Sun. And I think, Connecticut's where you go when your team needs a morale booster. I wish that the New York Liberty had a game against the Sun coming up because they also need the morale booster. So they got the dub against the Sun. Becky said, okay, y'all can live to see another day. But I do want to say in these games, it was the debut of Nalissa. And Nalissa had a double-double against the Sun, which Kia Stokes has not had a double-double. So I would say we're building. We're building upon what some of the weaknesses is. Not that Kia Stokes is the only weakness of this team, but
yes. And this week also, Chelsea Gray passed Becky Hammon on the all-time assists record sheet. So I wonder if Becky made eye contact with her to congratulate her, or if she's still shunning.
She sent her a text.
I don't know.
Yeah, she
texted.
She DM'd her.
Mm-hmm.
She DM'd her and said, "Good job.
Good job. See you at practice."
Yeah. My poor little fantasy league. I got Chelsea Gray, and she's kind of been stinking a little bit. I had Jonquel Jones, obviously not getting points that way. I had Leonie Phoebish, who we also will talk about later, but not cooking like she was last year. So it's looking rough.
Prayers up for Kelsey's fantasy team.
Prayers up for my fantasy team. And you know what? Prayers up for the Chicago Sky. They only had one game this week, so we don't need to dog on them. But they did unfortunately lose to the Lynx in what was a pretty close game. It wasn't a blowout.
Probably the last team you want to have your only game against
when
now.
You don't have Camila Cardozo at 6'7".
And until like the fourth quarter, it was a pretty close game. Am I wrong? Maybe they pulled away sooner, but at least in the first half, it was pretty close.
Yeah, and I think also Chicago has not signed their replacement point guard yet.
I don't know what's happening. There are teams, and we'll talk about it, that need to be signing players, that need to be bringing in new players.
Oh, no, that's right. A lot of people were saying that the Sky were waiting until after Eurobasket. Well, honey, Eurobasket's over.
Are they waiting until after the AmeriCup?
Honey, the AmeriCup is over.
It's over. Sign your player.
Sign your player. Figure it out. I don't know if you're waiting till after All-Star. It seems like a lot of people are doing that.
I don't know what the strategy is, but
now they're going to say we're going to wait till playoffs. Well, honey, keep waiting.
There's not going to be playoffs.
There's not going to be playoffs. Sign your point guard. No offense to the people who are filling in Rachel Banham and HVL, but we need a little bit.
We need somebody. We need some help. Yeah.
Maybe they're waiting for Odyssey Sims to be healthy. I don't know. but they need something.
I don't hate that idea.
You don't hate that idea?
No, I love Odyssey Sims. Odyssey Sims is good on any team.
It's something. Yeah.
Something. Yeah. We had one little ray of sunshine in this game. We had a beautiful fish and chippy between Angel Reese and Courtney Williams.
Get your malt vinegar out. There's a fish and chippy up.
And they ended it with a really good-natured dapping up.
Yeah.
They said, we're good.
We're good.
This is all on the court. We're good.
This is
good. Over.
It was like last season when like Melissa Smith and Angel were like, people thought they were chirping at each other and the refs were like, hey, break it up. And they're like, we're having a conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let the players work it out.
Yes, just let them kind of yap at each other and then keep playing. Let them yap.
Yeah.
Let the girls yap.
Yap and dap. Let them yap and dap, you know?
Yap and dap. You know what? A fish and chippy. Let's say a fish and chippy is when it ends bad. And a yap and dap is when you're just like trash talking and then you give a little.
And then you're like,
we're good.
Yeah, we're good. I feel like there was one of those between two other players where it was like, oh, could be bad. But then they ended up just like with a little smile and a laugh.
Yeah.
Can't remember who it was, but I think that also happened this week. And I think it was with Sophie Cunningham and somebody else.
Yeah. And I guess our favorite Natisha Heidemann and Skylar Diggins.
Yes, that's a yap and dap.
My crush out the window used to love me. That's a kind of a yap and dap.
That's a yap and dap. If there was no formal, we're cool body language between them, there were some jokes.
Yes.
There was some jokes. Here's one team that's not joking. The Washington Mystics. Two of their rookies going to All-Star. Kiki and Sonia Citron. Unfortunately, my voting for Slim Summer did not come to fruition, which I feel very sad about. But maybe Slim will get there for like the skills competition or something. Like there's other ways that you can get to All-Star.
Shout out to the rookies that made the All-Star team, and also shout out Lucy Olson with a 19-point performance.
Yeah, still suffered the loss to the Lynx, but Lucy was out there balling at 19 points, and so was Aaliyah Edwards, 13 points. I don't know if you're staying or getting traded. I don't know what's going on. And Aaliyah doesn't either, but she said, I'm going to play while I can.
She says, I'm giving you all I got for as long as I'm here.
13 points.
I would love the liberty to bring Aaliyah.
Please
bring her, get her on Amtrak, bring her to New York.
It's a quick jaunt. She played in Unrivaled with Stewie, so they have some chemistry.
Yeah.
Give us something, New York Liberty. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. We keep teasing, but we'll get to it. All right, let's talk about the Indiana Fever because they had a huge freaking week. Shout out to the 2025 Commissioner's Cup champions. Y'all earned that. Absolutely dog walked the Lynx on their own court.
Made them look silly.
I love when they don't get to do the electric slide. I love it.
Kelsey, famous hater of the electric slide.
In Minnesota. And also prayers up Red Panda.
Oh, prayers up Red Panda. Red Panda, if you don't know, get to know Red Panda. Incredible halftime performer. She's been at it for I think 30 years.
And MNBA and WNBA.
Yes.
And unfortunately fell off her unicycle. Is that what it is? Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you're underselling it. It's like a 15-foot unicycle. It's really tall.
And again, Kathy, we're saying get this schedule right. Too many people are getting injured. Too many injuries because we got a jam-packed schedule. If we did not have this jam-packed schedule, Red Panda would be fine.
She'd be on the unicycle today, spinning plates.
Kathy, Panda's
this blood is on
your hands.
Yeah.
Kathy, take your beer goggles off, girly. The Fever are playing great with Caitlin Clark on the bench.
They really are.
I think a lot of people are like, Caitlin's not playing. We're not going to watch the Fever. They're fucked. It's like, no, they won the Commissioner's Cup without her. Obviously with her morale on the bench. And then she was celebrating. She was pulling a Halliburton, getting the gold medal for not playing in the
for
Olympics,
the participation.
Yeah, the participation.
Trophy. Yeah.
And their game against the Aces. And I think a lot of this is shout out to the All-Stars, Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston.
And shout out to Commissioner's Cup MVP, Natasha Howard.
Yeah, it's just, I think this is just a team that's gelling right now. And doing it without the beloved sort of franchise player. big win against the Lynx, big win against the Aces, and then fell to Kelsey Plum and the Los Angeles Sparks.
Sometimes it happens to you. Plum Dog was really on one in that game.
I love her.
Shooting so well, getting knocked down,
Being
doing some
a
push-ups.
Stinker. I
Being
loved
a
that.
Stinker.
I
That
love
is
it.
the art of a little stinker. That's a stinker move, doing push-ups in the middle of a game.
It was so, I love her. She is entertainment.
I know. It continued the Liberty tradition where everyone boos her and I scream at everyone to stop booing her because she loves it.
It fuels her. Anybody who knows the WNBA knows that you don't fuel Kelsey Plum because it makes her, it's like Tinkerbell with the applause or whatever. What is it? Clap your hands so Tinkerbell can live or whatever. So Tinkerbell can
so somebody's got a sniper scope on Tinkerbell right now. Clap your hands so she can live. But at one point I yelled, "We love you, Kelsey," and she missed a free throw. So it's 1-to-1.
Yeah, she doesn't know how to accept love, but she knows how to accept hate. And maybe that's something from her childhood. Sometimes I like to play armchair therapist. But maybe we got to start screaming, "We love you, Connecticut Sun," because something's got to happen.
It's gloomy. The sun's not shining in Connecticut.
It's gloomy.
They
waived
the only team without an all-star.
Yeah.
That
was the Mystics last year.
Unsurprising, but also sad.
Yeah. And even if they did have an all-star who I think should have been Tina Charles or Marina Mabry. Marina Mabry's injured. Yeah. And again, like I said, maybe she'll be there for the 3-point competition. Maybe she'll be there for the skills challenge. There's other ways to get to all-star, but sad to not see any Connecticut Sun on that reserve list. This past week in Connecticut, they waived Kenyatta Diaby, and we got to see the WNBA debut of Leila Lacan out of France. Very exciting. So hopefully she'll be some good momentum for the Sun as they look towards their next games. But they did unfortunately lose to the Aces. But this was two teams that really needed the dub. So happy either way that it goes. But Connecticut Sun, we're praying for you.
We're praying for you every day. We love you.
Prayers up.
Or we hate you. Whatever motivates you. Whatever you need from us.
Yeah.
We're giving you.
Or congrats on the first round draft pick for the 2026 draft.
Yes. Congrats.
Congrats on getting that. Lauren Betts. Let's talk about the Storm. Ballin' the fuck out. Ballin'. I can't even be mad at it.
Team. Such a big team. Mm-hmm. Such a good team. They seem like they're all getting along. They seem just like they're clicking. Gelling. It's gelling. We can talk about the Storm Dream game first. That Skylar game winner. Come on.
All-Star Reserve, Skylar Diggins. Shout out. All-Star Reserve, Gabby Williams. Shout out All-Star Starter, Nneka Ogwumike. We got 3 players that are in the All-Stars. This team is making it to the Final Four or whatever the fuck we want, the semifinals.
Semifinals. I agree. And I just want to say
they're going back to college. They're going to the Final Four.
They're going to the Final Four. They're going to absolutely destroy these college teams. I texted it to Kelsey, but I want everyone who listens to the podcast, because I think you'd want to know, you can see the definition of Skylar Diggins' arms from Upper Bowl at the Barclays Center. You can still see those muscles
Razor
from Upper
sharp.
Bowl. And I was in the nosebleeds, and I knew.
I wish I had arms like her.
Best arms in the league.
Best arms in the world?
It's not even a contest.
I don't know what else to say to that, but
I don't know what else to say. Best arms, and also just unstoppable. Such a scoring threat. The Liberty had no answer for her in the game against. The Liberty had very few answers for anyone on the Storm.
Big Mama Sky, walk 'em down. What did she say her nickname was during Unrivaled? They were like, "What's your nickname?" She's like, "Big Mama Sky, walk 'em down," or I think
something like that. Yeah, she also called herself a gremlin. Yeah, she was gremlin mode. She was Big Mama Sky mode. She's just tough. And I said it before, the Storm are big. They have Ezzy, Nneka, and then also Malunga had some serious minutes. Yeah. And also had a great performance. This is the first time.
I thought she was going to dunk.
This is the first time that I was like, oh, she's going to be the best. She's going to be one of the best players in the league at some point.
Oh, that's why she was the number 2 pick.
I was like, yes, here she is.
And she's only 19.
She's 19 years old. She's a baby. Stewie did not play well, and I think it's because they just had somebody on her.
I mean, I think just and again, we'll get to it, but when you're playing against a big team and your big is out and you're not, your other bigs aren't totally rising to the occasion and you refuse to sign a hardship contract for another big, like, yeah, you're going to get dog walked. You can put up your small lineup, but they're going to say, we don't give a shit about your small lineup.
No, we don't.
We're going to block all your shots.
Yeah. But anyway, I still want to see that dunk, Dominique. We're still waiting on that dunk.
Who will it be?
But you have shown me. Mima is in. I'm getting a jersey.
Yeah. She's dancing in the storm.
Yes, dancing in the rain. Like that. I was thinking that Drew Barrymore clip.
Yeah.
Anytime you have a chance to run out in the rain.
That's Mima. That absolutely is Mima.
That's
with
me
the storm
watching
right now.
the storm.
And shout out to the Storm. It's going to be great, and can't wait to see you in the finals probably against the Minnesota Lynx.
I don't know, Kelsey.
I think right now it's for the semifinals, Lynx, Storm, Mercury, and then vying for that fourth, Atlanta or New York.
I'm just mostly for the bit, but also in my heart, Dream are going to go to the finals.
Pop all the way
Dream
off.
are going to knock the Liberty out, go to the finals.
Pop all the way
I don't know if that's how the bracket would work.
Yeah, I don't know either. But from the way I'm predicting it right now, 20 games in, between 18 and 20 games in, that's what I think Liberty and Dream are sort of figuring out who's going to be in that.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're talking amongst themselves. They're like,
is
it me? Are you
yeah,
going to go? Am I
going
going to go?
Pros and cons list?
Yeah. But I think that's a good prediction. But this is a team that I would bet money. I mean, I won't bet money because I don't really gamble except for the slots. But I would bet money that the Lynx are back in the finals.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about them.
Absolutely. 17-2 at time of recording. I mean, obviously they lost the Commissioner's Cup game, but you know what? That doesn't count towards literally anything other than getting money. So
and actually,
they said,
that's good.
That's fine. Yeah.
Historically, that's good. You don't want to win this game. Maybe they are believers in the Commissioner's Cup curse, and so they threw the game. They were like, we're not even. Fee was like, I'm not even going to score.
Focus bigger. We're focusing on the bigger picture here.
Score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about I don't score, guys? How about I don't score?
The guy that sits next to me at the Liberty games, we were talking about the Commissioner's Cup, and he was like, oh, they got paid off. The league paid the Lynx off to lose. And I was like, sir, no, they didn't. But he wasn't even saying
league
it in a
doesn't
funny
have money
way.
like that. Yeah.
And he wasn't saying it in a I wonder if. He was saying it in a like, I am confident that this is what happened. So shout out to him.
We love a conspiracy. We love a conspiracy. But
No,
even
they
with that
just
loss, yeah.
They just had an off game. Like
they just had
the
an
off game.
Yeah. And then they said, you know what, let's go out and win our next 3 games. The Lynx played 4 games this week, and you would have never guessed it because they had a big win against the Mystics, the Valkyries, and the Sky. And Cheryl was Cheryl was appointed WNBA All-Star coach and will lead Team Clark. Shout out Cheryl.
Shout out Cheryl. Can't wait to see what the t-shirt says. You know we love Cheryl. Is she your wife still?
It depends. It's day to day.
It's day. You're taking
much like Satu's ankle. It's day to day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Day to day. We're working through some stuff right now. There's times when I really love her, and there's times when I say, "Shut the hell up and let me live my life." This ring comes off, bitch.
This ring comes off.
That's what I say to my wife.
And then other times you say, "Respect the ring."
And I say, "Respect the ring, baby." Best decision of my life. I say.
Best decision of your life. Marrying Cheryl. Second best decision, moving to Los Angeles, home of the Los Angeles Sparks.
Home of Julie Van Loo.
Home of 2 Julies from Belgium.
2 Julies. Yeah. I mean, Los Angeles is the city of Julies. This week, the Los Angeles Sparks waived Odyssey Sims and Shea Petty. And when they waived Odyssey Sims, I was like, what the hell? And then I realized they're trying to get Julie Van Loo.
They said, Julie, go stand outside the Barclays Center with your luggage.
And once it's announced, we'll allow you in. Otherwise, go to the Old Navy across the street. Check out the Best Buy. Get a Wetzel's Pretzels from Atlantic Terminal.
Yeah, there's a Sephora.
There's a lot to do outside of Barclays Center in case any folks are listening are like, what should I do outside Barclays Center?
Yeah.
The Old Navy always slaps, in my opinion.
We love a Bermuda short.
I love a Bermuda short, and their ribbed tank tops are my favorite. Also, the DMV is there. Nevertheless, she was waiting outside Barclays until she was announced, and then when she was, literally minutes later, she was out there shooting up some shots, getting ready to play against the Liberty.
That's a professional.
That is a professional. This week, one loss against the Liberty and one win against the Fever. The Sparks are sitting at 6-13, and most importantly, welcome back, Sweet Baby Ray.
Oh, it is long overdue.
Overdue.
Sweet Baby Ray.
We miss Sweet Baby Ray. Amelia did think that she was coming back a couple weeks ago when Cameron Brink said
Cameron
we're
Brink.
back. I don't think Cameron Brink is ever coming back.
I don't know what they were talking
on?
about. I don't know what they were talking about.
I
and
think
maybe
just,
I'll
like, they were
DM
back
them.
together being friends.
They were just back in the weight room
I just
together.
don't like. I think they've trained us to kind of forget about Cameron Brink, so we stop asking when is Cameron Brink coming back.
I wonder is Cameron Brink a real person, or was she AI the whole time?
She's AI.
She's so tall.
She's so
beautiful.
tall and beautiful. She might not be real.
She might not be real.
Even though we did see her with our own two eyes. Eyes can be deceiving. I've seen a hologram.
Yeah. And we were at a distance when we saw her. I don't know. Could have been somebody with a hologram projection on them on stilts.
Could have been Kathy on stilts.
It could have been Kathy on stilts.
When she gets
Kathy was like, how do we grow this league? We need to find a beautiful, tall, talented woman. And she said.
And then she put her beer goggles on and she's like, give me some stilts. No, Kathy, no, you'll hurt yourself. Just give me the stilts.
No, give me the stilts.
Yeah, let's make the Lynx play 4 games this week.
I'd love to make them run.
Yeah, I think my prediction is we see a Cameron Brink return after All-Star break.
Okay, I need it because I'm starting to question my reality.
I'm just like, what? Like, what?
Where you been?
Where you been, bitch?
Where you been, bitch?
But I'll tell you what, Azare is doing just fine without Cameron Brink being there. I love my Azare. She was balling out in that game against the Fever.
And she played great in that game against the Liberty, too. Mm-hmm. I mean, Kelsey Plum had a pretty bad game against the Liberty, and they were still in it until... the second half of the third quarter or fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Really.
But yeah, please come back, Cameron Brink. Stop doing your podcast with your mom or whoever you do it with.
The only person that's allowed to have a podcast with their mom is Holly Rowe's son.
Okay.
They have a podcast. Mm-hmm. I'll allow it. But otherwise, don't do a podcast.
Don't talk to your mom on podcast.
Don't.
Talk to her on the phone.
She's going to say something that you're going to have to edit out.
But please come back, Cameron Brink.
Please come.
I'm on the brink of despair without you playing this game. But let's talk about another team. Let's talk about the other team in California. Golden State Valkyries. First and foremost, we got to give an fucking salute, round of applause, standing ovation for our all-star reserve, Kayla Thornton.
We
fucking
love
go.
you, Kayla. This is so well deserved.
Yeah.
Hard earned. And also, this is one where she doesn't get to spread her wings and fly if the expansion draft doesn't take her away from the Liberty. Mm-hmm. And as much as it hurts me, a Liberty fan, to look out at the court and say, where the hell is Kayla Thornton?
Mm-hmm. Where's our dog? Yeah.
It warms my heart as a fan of Kayla Thornton that she's getting to be the star.
It rocks.
She is the star of that team.
It's like when you have a healthy breakup and you see your ex with someone that they really are perfect with. You know, you're like, this had to happen, and now I'm really happy for you.
Uh-huh.
From afar. I mean, couldn't be me. Couldn't be me speaking like that about a breakup.
This has never happened to me.
I don't know. It's something I've maybe seen in movies and television. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is also my reality. But shout out Kayla Thornton. Have some fun. Sandy Brandella said that she voted for Kayla to be an all-star reserve, and she was really excited for her.
That's awesome.
It's also all love.
You know, I was feuding a little bit with the Valkyries last week, but they dropped some parachuted some Sephora bags down. That's fun. They got me back.
You're back in.
I'm back in.
You're back in. The Sephora refs shot down some bags for people. Uh-huh. And,
they said love us. They're subliminally making us love the Sephora refs more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's working.
I know, that's right. Can't wait for Unrivaled. But Golden State Valkyries right now, at time of recording, which I always got to say because you know there's going to be some people being like, they're at 9-8.
Okay.
a loss against the Lynx. Sorry, I had to get my venting out. Just one game this week. Looking for Valhalla to come back. I was about to say Volt Up, but that's the Wings. Too many V things happening right now. Volt Up, V's Up, Valhalla. But let's go Golden State. Excited to see the international players from Eurobasket coming back, and let's play some basketball.
Let's play some basketball.
As Fergie once said, let's play some basketball.
After a beautiful rendition of the national anthem.
Sexy, sultry version. Let's talk about the Phoenix Mercury, also a team that had one game, and that was that loss to the Wings. However, I do got to say, I salute United States of Comerica, 33 points.
Always.
Love to see her back on the court.
She's given us the performance we know she's capable of.
She's giving.
She's giving.
She's giving basketball.
She's giving playing basketball.
Mm-hmm. She's giving scoring honey.
She's giving being on a basketball team and scoring 33 points.
She already done had hers is 33-point plus game.
Shout out to RuPaul.
Yeah, shout out RuPaul. Have fun.
And shout out and prayers up, to Satu.
Day-to-day
who
ankle.
Stays getting hurt, but this season hasn't really been hurt, so I don't know what's going on. Is this a serious ankle injury, or is this just a little tweak?
I don't know, but it's day-to-day. That's all I can see on the report, so I can't say anything else other than it's day-to-day. Just like all of us, day-to-day.
I'm taking it day-to-day.
My ankles are day-to-day. That could go at any minute.
Every morning I wake up and I say, are they broken? Don't know.
Could be. All it takes is one slight tweak. One mishap at my cardio dance class, and I could be day-to-day as well.
You could be day-to-day. Satu Speaks. Is that the name of our segment? Satu Speaks.
Sure, it can be. Yeah.
I think I made a graphic for it.
Yeah.
Satu said that the people of Dallas booed her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why she's moving on.
Mm-hmm.
But then people online were like, they booed when you were shooting free throws. Like, people didn't.
That's
it wasn't
normal.
like a.
We're not going to cheer you on.
Yeah. But it wasn't like a we hate you kind of thing.
Yeah. And I think they even did like a little like tribute to her before the game started, as they've been doing for all players who returned to like the team that they were formerly on.
It might be like how Michael Jordan would make up stories in his head about
my enemies. Yeah.
Being wronged. Mm-hmm. Satu needs that to fuel her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Whatever it is, it works. She plays her damn mind out.
She sure does.
Let's talk about your best friends, the Atlanta Dream.
I love them. I hate to have to do a prayers up for Ryan Howard, my best friend.
Also day-to-day. All these day-to-day gals.
I guess I'd rather have a day-to-day than a junk will drain about 4 to 6 weeks.
Straight up out. The Dream also had one game this week against the Storm, and Ryan Howard was out, and Jordan Canada stepped it up, 25 points against that very neck and neck 1-point game with the Storm. But we need our Ryan girl back. All-star.
We need her back. All-star
Ryan Howard.
Alongside Alicia Gray. Yeah.
Shout out.
When I was visiting my mom last week, she just I think just to be polite, was like, oh, I didn't know Atlanta had a WNBA team. What are they like? And then I did one of my Renee Montgomery style book reports.
She got you talking about your special interest, and she was just like, all right, well, here's 10 minutes I can buy of sleeping with my eyes open.
She raised me to have special interests.
Absolutely. May we all be blessed to have a special interest. And my special interest, the New York Liberty right now, are making me feel absolutely hopeless. But I know it will get better. Hashtag it gets better.
Hashtag it gets better.
It will get better.
But hashtag in the meantime, it is hard.
Yeah. Hashtag in the meantime, why is it so hard, and why are we not signing any sort of hardship contract for anybody?
I don't know.
Because now there's potentially, and Izzy Harrison at time of recording could potentially have an injury. So it's like, okay, well, your backup for Niara is now like, what are we doing here? Why are we putting other players at risk by not just like signing someone who,
I know,
send us a big, at least until after All-Star, and then maybe the couple weeks once JJ gets back, because I'm sure she's not going to go back to playing full minutes. It's going to be day by day with JJ.
It's going to be day by day.
It's going to be day by day with JJ. And speaking of Sandy Brontello, shout out Sandy, who will also be a WNBA All-Star coach leading Team Collier. LOL. Maybe
Also
they can talk
another-
about how the game 5 was fixed. Have fun at that.
Another messy duo, but maybe they'll work it out.
I think they're going to work it out on the remix.
Yeah.
I
Who
don't
could
think
ever be upset at Sandy?
she's just fun. She's just trying to light a cigar and
She's
have
just
a nice
having
time.
a go.
She's
Yeah.
have a bit of a fun go.
She was her fit in that Sparks game. She looked cool.
She was popping.
And I think she forgot to coach for a while
leveled up.
because she
Yeah.
was like just stunting, you know?
Yeah. She was too busy getting teed up.
Yeah.
She was having a bit of a fun
loved
go.
it.
Yeah,
She
I
was
love
having
it.
a go.
But Liberty, please do something. Hashtag Liberty do something challenge.
Hashtag Liberty do something challenge. Yeah, sign somebody.
Sign anybody.
Switch something
Sign
up,
me.
because this is like, I know that they must be thinking, okay, JJ's coming back, we don't need to panic.
Yeah.
But you don't want to. I mean,
There's still
the
4 more
season is
games.
so short that if you miss 4 to 6 weeks, that is so significant. And it really is going to affect the standings going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And the Liberty are going to make the playoffs, but
But will we
what
have any sort
seed-
of home court advantage? That's
Yeah.
like sort of what
that matters. We just would like for something different to happen.
we're just praying for change, huh?
We're just praying for change, waiting on the world to change.
Keep on waiting. Yeah, John Mayer halftime show when?
Yeah, if they can have Boney Bear, we can have John Mayer. No,
Oh boy.
little freak.
Yeah, a little freak. But yeah, we're just waiting for a little bit of change from the Liberty, and maybe we'll get it in week 7, or in week 8, which is what we're looking towards right now. And maybe we'll get off this call right now, this recording, and it will say, Emma Meesman signs hardship contract to New York Liberty. One of my favorite rom-coms, Something's Gotta Give.
Something's gotta give.
Something's gotta give. I'm Diane Keaton on this beach, and I'm saying something's gotta give.
We got some off the court action happening.
A lot of things happening with the CBA. All the people who are involved with the Women's Players Association, whether it's the vice presidents or, whomever, are saying the league put forth the new CBA and it was like a slap in the face. And I
Don't
guess
do
they're
that
going
to
to have
them.
they're going to have a special meeting in Indiana during All-Star Week for the representatives from the Players Association, our president. We salute Nneka Ogwumike, our VPs that include Nafisa Collier, Stewie, Satu, Kelsey Plum. All of them are going to get together and be like,
This is
something,
bullshit,
hashtag
right?
something's got to give.
Hashtag something's gotta give.
Something's got to give.
Something's gotta give.
There was one person who was on Twitter being like, don't we find it weird that Nafisa Collier and Stewie are calling for a potential walkout next season by the players when they have their own league that will benefit from this? And even Nafisa Collier, she responded and was like, you're being insane.
Yeah.
This is
Also,
a really bad take.
I don't think Unrivaled benefits from the W not
No.
existing.
No.
It's a very mutually beneficial, like in terms of the fandom.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think
That's silly.
eventually that the WNBA will buy Unrivaled and just have it be like the WNBA G League. I think that's, they'll. It's just
I don't know.
crazy. I don't know, but these players are fighting for everyone, every player, and not just the people who might be playing for Unrivaled or just for their own business. It's like, if you even look at what Unrivaled provides its players, why wouldn't these two people who founded Unrivaled want to have the same things that Unrivaled players get for the WNBA?
Yeah.
Silly.
And also,
Y'all
is
silly for that one.
person on Twitter like anti the players?
They said it's a conflict of interest that
Okay.
they're in the Players Association and also founders of Unrivaled.
I just think it's not controversial that the CBA in the past has sucked.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
they don't get what they deserve. So why would you get on Twitter and post anything that's like anti-players?
Yeah,
That's foolish. You're
that's foolish. Some people
get out
just
of here
be-
with that.
I mean, and we get in our comments all the time. Some people are just saying crap.
Some people I think are real people, but are behaving like bots.
Kind
Kind of
And
the Cameron Brink effect.
Yeah. And to those people, I say, stop it. And
that.
I think there's some other people that you want to be saying stop that to, Mima, based on this note here.
About the kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And it kind of relates to the CBA and relates to President NECA. If your child is with you at a WNBA game and they are yelling, "We hate you, you suck," at NECA, you need to stop them. Because I'm losing my mind sitting next to this 9 or 10-year-old girl who's yelling, "You suck," at NECA. And I'm thinking, would you like to have equal pay one day, little girl? Then you need to get on board with the president of the Players Association. And you can't say these things to a child. And that's why it's her mom and dad, their job.
It's their job.
Here's
the thing. If you think you know this league and these teams well enough to say that you hate a player, then you should have done your research to learn about these players and see NECA's actually a queen.
She's actually a queen. And also, she doesn't suck. She's the starter on the All-Star team.
Yeah,
so
she's fucking great.
She's great. The
goated.
best on the court, off the court. Get out of here, 9-year-old. If anybody, kid or adult, if you're at a game with somebody and they're yelling, "We hate you," to a player, tell them don't do that.
Yeah. Tell them don't do that. Just turn around and say, "Hey, don't do that."
Hey, don't do
Think
that.
of something else like, "Boo, you're going to miss."
Just boo. Boo is great.
Couldn't hit water standing on a boat or whatever, you know.
Oh, and shout out podcast to podcast. Shout out to Candace Parker and Aaliyah Boston.
Sister
launching their
podcast.
new podcast.
Companion podcast, Post Moves, companion piece to Let the Girls Play.
And Stud Buds. We're all kind of in
We're all
the same
connected.
family.
Can't wait to listen. What a fun little pairing.
Can't wait. Oh, yeah. To have a legend like Candace Parker and then somebody who's just continuing to grow like Aaliyah Boston. What a beautiful pairing.
Known Candace Parker super fan, Aaliyah Boston.
I
love it.
I
Getting
love
to do
it
a
too.
podcast with your hero? Wow. It's like me and you, Mima. I get to do a podcast with my hero every week.
And I get to do a podcast with my hero.
Wow.
Wow.
And that's why we say
everyone involved
with
the WNBA,
WNBA
is a hero.
Except
Except the refs. Bye.